10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4.
Did you like that? Love it.
Oh, you pretty things. Don't you know you're driving your mamas and papas insane?
Down on the corner, out in the street, Billy and the four boys are playing, bringing me.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good golly, Miss Molly. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Nice to see you all out there. Lots of people in the chat already, and the new Streamlabs auto reply chats are churning away there, saying hello to everybody. So it's going to be a massive Streamlabs, and the Streamlabs is going to be my favorite chatter today. They're going to be in their 100th times. Hope you enjoyed the opening montage. It's been a while since I've had to do one of those.
Very cool. I love the countdown. 4,
Yeah.
4,
I
4.
thought, well, I just get to 4 and stick,
That's it.
and then start off with 4.
Yeah. Sorry I was
So-
a little late getting here, man.
Oh,
I
no worries, man.
I got
Good to
tied up
see
with
you.
something.
Good to see you, buddy. I don't
yeah.
care what kind of bondage you do in your spare time. That's up to you. I don't judge. I'm not judging.
Well,
How
you
are
should
you?
judge some of this stuff. Come
I
on.
should. How are you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I had to be here for this one. It's kind of my idea, wasn't it? I mean,
It was your idea, so you're to blame.
it's
You're
my blame.
to blame.
Yep, I'm all to blame if you don't
Yeah.
like this show.
So I think it's a great idea because everybody talks about debut albums and then the difficult second albums. Nobody talks about fourth albums.
No,
think it's a
but
thing.
but if you look at it, the history of fourth albums, a lot of bands, you know, fans of the band will say, "Oh, you know, I'm not one of those when it comes to Foreigner, my favorite band ever. I think their initial Foreigner album is their best album ever. But commercially, Foreigner 4 was the best one they ever did.
But if you
know.
consider, and we'll talk about this a little bit before we start talking about more specific albums, but why fourth albums might be good. Just before we get to that, because I want to follow up on that. Dr. Michael Jones is here. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you, sir?
I'm awesome. Looking forward to talking some music. And don't forget, everybody, although we're on YouTube, Rumble, and I can see Darren and Vince over in Rumble. Good to see you over there. And we should be going next. After we've done the kind of first hour of talkie, we're going to go over to Rumble and X and just play music because we can do that there.
Yes.
So that's the plan as we do. I think that's all our music shows we do that now. So at least we can play some of these great tunes we're talking about. So you're doing well, Michael. Are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Just
Good.
lifting weights, running, eating my vitamins, eating my steaks and chickens and
Nice.
eggs and getting healthy. You know?
Well, I'm damn glad to hear it, my friend. You
I
stay
leg pressed-
healthy.
Leg press 500 pounds last week, so I'm doing
All right, good.
trying
So
to
so you found an awful woman to lift with your legs? An awful.
an awful woman. Maybe she
It's
jumps on.
AWFL. AWFL.
That's funny.
So good to see you, my friend. And before we forget, today we're not going. There's one band that did have a good fourth album, but we're probably not going to talk about them.
Hey, you little twerps. Give me your Kiss tickets or I'll pop your faces in.
But we don't have any Kiss tickets. Yeah, Kiss sucks. What?
So that's the rule. That's the rule for today. Kiss sucks. Even though Destroyer was the fourth album, it was okay. But yeah, fourth albums, it's weird because I think you get to the point, if a band survives that far and they're good, they've had time to really distill their sound and, you know, get into the songwriting and just kind of nail it, generally speaking. I think it's why a lot of those albums are good.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember at an early age seeing the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and one of the things one of the characters said in it, look, if you want to score with a chick, just turn on side 2 of Led Zeppelin 4.
Gotcha.
You know? And I don't know if you remember that quote from that movie, but he did say it.
Yeah, just
and I
don't
was
do
like,
don't do it in a guitar store because they'll tell you.
Right?
Don't stay away.
I think they were coming home from the Italian restaurant.
Yeah, Stairway's got to
Cash-
be on. Yeah, Stairway's
I think he
got
was
to be on there,
coming
right?
home from the Italian restaurant playing Kashmir in that movie.
Yeah,
okay.
that's right. Yeah, Kashmir. It's not on that album, but it's still a great track.
Yeah.
Well, Led
But
Zeppelin
you know,
4 is
of
a
my
prime
favorite
example.
band, a lot of people. I mean, and it kind of infuriates me being a Foreigner fan because I know all their stuff, you know. But it's like people just noticed them on Foreigner 4 for some reason with Jukebox Hero, and you know all the great songs that are on that one, and you know that's the one they always. Davina said it in the chat. That's the one a lot of people mention first when it comes to Foreigner, and I just get infuriated by it.
I
I'm
can
like,
get
dude,
that,
they've
though.
got so much better
I
stuff. You
kind
know?
of get that because I think if this is about the distillation of a band, they actually nailed it on. They nailed the balance on four of the Foreigner sound they'd had before, but with a kind of a polished pop rock sensibility that they maybe just didn't have a little bit on some of the earlier stuff, which was more AOR oriented. They kind of that's why it became a hit album around the world, because it just had that little extra edge. And they stripped the band down to 4 members, and it was just, and they had all the synth stuff on it from Thomas Dolby playing all that synth stuff.
But I've heard so much about Led Zeppelin 4, Foreigner 4, and I remember Toto 4. I didn't even know who Toto was.
I always thought
Much
it was
like
Toto.
many of these people that always scream about Foreigner 4 being a great album, I didn't even know who
Toto 4?
Toto was
Well,
until Foreigner 4 came out. Africa.
Isn't that the album they managed to put Serengeti and Kilimanjaro on?
Yeah.
So that's an achievement for a band. Toto IV, I always thought that was called.
Right?
Like intravenous Demilo.
I need IV drugs to wake up during this thing.
So Mark D with the C has joined us. How are you, sir?
Good. I finally found the link. Thank you. Help from D-Bud and LT. I'm like, where's the link today?
It was in the D. You're in the DM group.
I hate the new chat. The new
I
Twitter
know, you
chat
miss
sucks.
things.
Like,
Yeah,
it used
does.
to like a link used to be a different color for us old people that
know.
have bad eyes,
So-
and I'm like,
So I do have a clip that you'll like because you like this kind of music. That's more your kind of thing, isn't it?
That's Jethro
Loudest,
Tull
yeah.
when they retired, man. That's what it is.
yeah.
Are we going to be talking about Tull, perhaps?
Oh, that's a pretty damn good fourth album.
But I've tried I challenged AI to say what makes fourth albums great, and it came up with all sorts of stuff. But it's true. There is kind of a, you know, if you last that long, because a lot of bands implode, and you do have the talent, then you're and you have more. Let's say you've had a bit of success, you've got time to spend in the studio, songwriting's developed, and you can really work on it and nail it. That's why a lot of the fourth ones are so good. Then again, there's probably a few really crap ones.
Sure.
And I want people to come up with crap ones. Well, Davina's already mentioned Vanilla Ice's fourth album. I didn't even know
Oh my
he had
God!
4 albums.
Any album by
Did he have
Vanilla
4
Ice? Come
albums?
on now.
Send the meteor, as Vincent says.
That's like throwing a dart at a bullseye the size of this room. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
But I guarantee you, Ice Ice Baby is getting a lot of play this last week.
it is, right, yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm as cold as ice.
Cold as ice is what I've been using for my shorts when I'm showing what the conditions are here. Yeah.
So, so we'll go around the grouping. And Chris, I'm hoping Christian will be able to join us even if he's out on the road, and because he did suggest one or two. We all suggested stuff. So we'll go around the houses a little bit and just say what some of our favourites are. And then in the second hour, also, we'll play tracks from those and why we think they're good. And I'm glad, Michael, you suggested some quite different ones, which was great. Stuff that we wouldn't necessarily normally put in. So I will lead off if I can. If I can open, and I've got a few here, and one of them is a big surprise, but it isn't this one. But you'll be surprised by one of them. This is the first one that sprang to mind for me when you mentioned this subject. Apart from the fact it's not called for, Queen's A Night at the Opera.
Now, A Day at the Races came out before this, didn't it?
No, it was the one after.
Is
this,
it the one after?
see.
Okay, yeah.
Now, before this was Sheer Heart Attack, which is also a phenomenal album. But I think on this one they really distilled that genre hopping thing that they could do. Operatic excess, you got hard rock stuff, you got balladry, you got music hall, but all with that beautiful Queen production, the layered vocals, the superb guitar work, a band at the height of its ambition, you could say, reading some of the reviews about this, and they pulled it off. There's not a bad moment on this album. In fact, it features my one of my all-time favorites, the Prophets song, which is just their best prog song ever. Fabulous. So I think this is a great example of a fourth album that really nailed it. And of course, it had the big hit on it, which was "You're My Best Friend." No, Bohemian Rhapsody. Well,
Best Friend.
So I picked that as my straight off the top of my head one. And that's true.
Well, yeah, it's got Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
I mean, but I tell you, one very underrated song is "Love of My Life." I love that
beautiful
freaking song. It is so good.
So you've got like 4 or 5 Stone Cold classics on here, along with, as I say, the track 8, the Prophets song, which is their most prog-like thing ever.
When I interviewed you way back, I played Seaside Rendezvous.
Yeah.
And it's like this unspoken short track that's actually very catchy.
It's great, yeah. They loved their music hall. Freddie was great at the piano in the music hall thing, and it was great because it broke up. It broke up the hard rock. That sings between Sweet Lady and Prophet Song, which are really hard rock tracks. So it kind of breaks it up a little bit. And if another band doing that, it might come out really cheesy. But the music hall stuff Queen did was always fun, you know? Yeah. Lazing on a Sunday afternoon is another example of that.
Right, yeah.
That's the reason why I just want to say that it's great to listen to the full albums because you'd miss a lot of those songs. Like, you know, we went away for a road trip this week and I just threw on Pandora with all my greatest hits. But on the way back, I'm like, let me just play some albums, you know, just because then you miss all these songs.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the youngins or anyone growing up today, like you wouldn't hear a song maybe like Sweet Lady or something that's in between there, but you might end up like really loving the song and saying, this is an awesome song.
Yeah,
but you miss out on that by just listening to the greatest hits and.
Well, I guarantee that most
lists.
people have just heard the greatest hits would never have heard the Prophets song. They wouldn't even. I mean, apart from Freddie's vocals, they might not even know it's Queen. It's an epic. So, but it's just everything Queen I think would ever have wanted to do in one album, and then the rest was gravy after that. It was gravy. So that's my first choice, and I'm sure. I mean, there's people who are fanatical about lots of Queen albums, and I love lots of others. But this one is the great example of Queen, I'd say. So I wanted to sort of, if you're okay with this format, guys, I'll flip over to Michael, and I'm going to ask him for. You suggested some really interesting ones, and forgive me while I call them images up. Takes me well. So one of them, straight off the top of your head, was Behavior, the Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was their fourth album, but
yeah. So the Pet Shop Boys had an interesting trajectory. Like they started off kind of in like the dance scene of the UK, and this was kind of like the pinnacle of their US success. But after this album, they started. I mean, they were still kind of popular, but I felt like every album after this was kind of a replay. A lot of experimentation where I feel like this one is their most deepest.
Would you say it's their most personal?
Personal. There's just a lot of great, deep electronic tracks. Being Boring, Jealousy.
Well, a lot of people will know them for like the big early hits, West End Girls,
Right.
and stuff like that, and the work with Dusty Springfield. This one I think is a bit more downbeat, from what I recall.
It's very introspective, which is actually a name of another album of theirs, but it deals a lot with their personal lives. And you know, I'll say it, where Queen was a very gay popular band in the 70s, the Pet Shop Boys, being a straight guy like in the Pet Shop Boys, you always got that question, are you gay? You know, and I'm like, no, I just really like their music. I really
Indeed.
like their, you know,
Yeah.
their
Well,
their
you were
lyrics.
gay, but that's beside the point.
No, maybe. But Being Boring talks about, you know, just living their lives through the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah,
You know,
it is. So it's more a lyrical focus as well as musical focus, you'd say. It's not as
Where-
much to dance to, it's more to listen to.
Well, you know that band Baltimora?
I've heard of them. Yeah.
You know, that's McDonald's. This is kind of a steak with potatoes and
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
and wine,
Mhm.
right?
Nice, that's a great choice, mate. Yeah, great choice.
So, I mean,
I noticed that it's co-produced by Harold Faltermeyer and mixed by Julian Mendelssohn, both well-known
Yeah.
musicians in their own right, of course.
I feel this is their most cerebral album, and you know, it's
Yeah.
got the best lyrics, it's got the best tracks, it's got the best melodies.
And it's on the best label,
Baltimora
Parlophone.
did do that Tarzan song, Tarzan Boy.
All right, okay.
Well, that's what Davina, she brought that up.
It's all about Tarzan, but there are also some suggestions in the. So one of these nights, the fourth Eagles album, that is one of my favorites as well. Journey of the Sorcerer, Bernie Leadon song on their instrumental. It's like brilliant instrumental. They ended up adapting it for Hitchhiker's theme. You would never know it was the Eagles if you listened to the original Journey of the Sorcerer. And somebody mentioned Foxtrot by Genesis, which is on my kind of backup list of not quite in my top 5, but almost there. Although I'd prefer Selling England by the Pound. I'd say that's a more complete example of Gabriel era Genesis.
The album
So thank you
cover
for
on
that.
one of these nights is that's back when they definitely had a Western feel to them. They were a borderline country band when they started, and that is one of the most killer album covers I've ever seen. Man, I love that bull skull.
Well,
on
great
there with
band.
the
I
wings
mean,
and everything. Yeah,
It is. That is a great fourth album, which I did think about the Eagles, and I didn't quite get there. But so thank you for that, Michael. We'll get back to you.
If I were to pick the best Pet Shop Boys song
Yep.
ever,
Yep.
it would probably be Jealousy.
Well, we'll play Jealousy later when we get over.
Yeah,
to
that's
Rumble.
good.
But it's very downbeat. It's kind of a.
We'll get that one. We'll add. Well, make sure we play that when we go over to Rumble, because don't
I
forget
went through a dark goth phase in high school. So
You did.
I mean,
Hey, look, some of the best songs you'll ever hear are downbeat. I mean, Phil Collins in the Air Tonight is a downbeat song. I'm
Oh, yeah.
sorry. It just is.
Is
and
this
it's awesome.
Is
you
such
know?
a thing as a light goth? era?
Right?
Kind of
do
gray.
like-
Kind of gray.
Everything's
Kinda
world
gray.
ending with them, you know.
50 Shades of Grey goth.
So Joe's 50
Hong
Shades
Kong
of Grey.
Garden.
Hong Kong Garden, which I had that. I was telling Michael before the stream, I had the original picture sleeve version of Susie and the Banshees Hong Kong Garden when it was released. Somebody stole a lot of my punk singles, which is why I don't have them all now. I had an entire collection of the Jam picture sleeve singles, all gone.
Davina's right.
pissed
Not
off.
every album has to be heavy and complex.
It does
why
not.
That's why I like the Village People.
Well, wait till you see
Right?
my
Come on,
wait till you
man.
see my fourth choice. So Joe, you and I share a love of this band,
Oh, yeah.
Foreigner 4. And
They're a great story because we've chronicled it before. They're a bunch of studio musicians that got together and decided to do their own thing, and it's a very cool story. But go ahead.
No, it's you. You mentioned that you love the first album, but
Oh
if you-
yeah,
if to
the
sing
reason why I
praises of
mentioned this one. Yeah, the reason why I bring this one up is every time I say my favorite band's Foreigner. Oh yeah, Foreigner 4 is a badass album. I'm like,
you hate it, don't you?
no, it's not that I hate it. It's well, first of all, freaking Jukebox Hero is right up there with Stairway to Heaven. To me, is one of the most overplayed songs by a band
Yes,
in
yeah.
history. Okay, if I never hear that song again, and I love this band, it'll be okay with me. But I get into so many arguments with people. Oh, it's the greatest song they ever did. I'm like, God, have you ever
kind
listened
of-
to Foreigner? Have you ever listened to Double Vision? Have you heard of
So-
these albums? I mean, come
So
on,
we're
man.
we're
It
talking
is a great
fourth
song, though.
Yeah,
talking
it is a
great
great
fourth
song.
albums and
Don't get
Joe's
me
ripping it
wrong. It's
apart.
just, they do so much other great stuff, and it's my favorite band.
mean,
That's
like
why.
I'm a dirty white boy. Damn dirty white boy. Just a dirty white boy.
Every
That's
time I
right.
hear that, I think of you, Joe.
That's because that's me, man.
man.
You know it.
See, if you took
well, my
Jukebox
favorite
Hero-
song by him. My favorite song by him is "Long Way Home." I
Yeah,
love that.
Long
I
Way
love
From
that
Home.
song. Yeah, long,
But if
long
you
way
took
from home.
Jukebox Hero out of this, every other track, I mean, not that that's, I think it's a great track, but all the others are bangers, you know?
Yeah, they are. This is one of those albums, and they don't come along very often. I
Hmm.
consider Back in Black one of them. I'm trying to think.
Well, they're albums
Billy
that reach-
Squires Don't Say No is another one for me that every track is dynamite. They could have friggin'
reach-
released all of them as singles. You
and
know,
they reach across the aisles to various genres
Yep.
and fans of different genres. My favorite one in this, by the way, is the last one, Don't Let Go, which is
yeah,
if we
Don't
do
Let
a
Go
deep-
is a great
If
song.
we do a
Yeah.
deep cuts one, that
Girl in
Joe,
on the Moon is awesome. I mean, you
Urgent,
know.
Urgent was in a commercial or something, wasn't it?
ding, ding. Yeah,
Oh,
it's been
they've
used.
probably used it in a bunch of commercials.
And it's been remixed as a great dance thing we watched once where the guy's doing the dancing and it's remixed as a hip hop thing with the
Yep.
But I read the review. One of the reviews said a flawless blend of arena rock power and melodic sophistication,
Yeah.
delivering some of the band's biggest hits with impeccable polish and irresistible hooks. It's tight, confident, and endlessly catchy, and that's I think is very true. That review rang pretty true, and they, of course gave Mick Jones and crew the massive worldwide success, which
Oh yeah.
probably helped their
Doesn't hurt
pensions.
that Mutt Lang produced it either.
That's
It
right,
does
yeah.
not hurt at all that happened. I mean,
And it
that
has
guy
the right
was well
title.
known.
4.
Yeah, right. But you know, like "Waiting for a Girl Like You" is one of the greatest ballads ever
Yeah.
written. You know,
So we,
yeah.
Lindsay's mentioning Thomas Dolby, and I did mention Thomas Dolby didn't write Urgent, but he did play all the synthesizers on this, or a lot of the synth work is Thomas Dolby,
Mm-hmm.
who obviously had his own hits in the electronic genre with, Blinding Me with Science and so on. So he did a lot of the synth work in the song, which gave it a modern feel.
yeah.
It kind of updated that sound and brought it into that current era, which was getting heavily into the synth stuff. So
Yeah, I love Jukebox Hero. Don't get me wrong. It's just I've got a chip on my shoulder for the other stuff that my favorite band has done. And when people just preach to me about that tune, I'm like, hey, it's great, but listen to some of their other stuff. It's really,
Well,
really good too. You
I'll
know?
make sure next time I'm talking to Lou Graham to say that you hate Jukebox Hero.
That's it. You tell him.
I'm not talking.
Yeah.
to him. I won't be talking. To him. Okay.
But that's one of those songs that everybody can relate to because they wanted to be a jukebox hero, right?
Yeah.
When they heard this
But I
great
think
music.
it was just
and-
the album. It's an example of a fourth album that nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Mark is here, and we all know. So Mark has given me one suggestion to talk about, and we all know that this is what he really wants to talk about. This is indeed
outed.
what Mark is really wanting to talk about.
He wants to talk about the guy in the cod piece.
Look at that! Look at that huge flute.
That's right. It's the boots that get me. Look at the boots.
Why is he
and
dressed
cod-
like a rocket?
Yeah, because cod pieces in rock are a thing.
Yeah, they are. Just ask Gene Simmons. You know it.
Uh,
Darth Vader.
Yeah, Darth Vader, it's,
I don't know who
Guar
this
there.
is. Fill me in.
Well, you've got Gene Simmons. You've got the guy's name.
Well, I know
can't remember.
that, but the guy with the cod piece. Up
It's
the
Guar. And I can't
Guar,
remember
yeah.
his name. Ungamunga. Arungus, isn't it? Arungus from Guar. And then obviously Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull is the one you.
Oh, okay.
So, Jethro Tull, the world's greatest heavy metal band, according to the Grammys.
It's a heavy metal instrument.
So there we go. So Aqualung, and we have this great photograph of Culture Casino they managed to get back in the day for the cover. So what is it about this? And it is their fourth album. What is it about this one that you would say makes it the
I
thing?
think well, of course, when you're picking an album, any genre, anything, it's just got to have maybe 3 or 4 really great standout hits on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then also songs that maybe if you're a fan of the band that you just love and would listen to. So I think this probably has their biggest hits on this. All Tull has a great career, and I'm a huge fan of their.
It doesn't have "Ring Out Ye Solstice Bells," so it can't have
yeah.
their biggest hits.
Yeah, they did have a new Christmas album again this year, but Aqualung, everyone knows
Dun, dun,
Aqualung.
dun, dun,
but,
dun. Everyone knows the riff. Yeah.
yeah, everyone knows Locomotive Breath. I think
Yeah.
that's one of their all-time
So the
great song. Cross-Eyed Mary is a phenomenal song, but every song of this album is fantastic. And I really, the album, the song on My God on the second side,
Hymn
and
43.
Wind Up. If you listen to the lyrics and his critique of organized religion, it's really a deep album. Now, it's not a. He always said it's not a concept album. That's why they followed it up with
Thick as a Brick.
Thick as a Brick, as a kind of a joke, and like here now I'm going to do a concept album with one. I guess the song was 40 minutes. But they had to flip the record back in the days. So but this is really not a concept album, and that's Jenny Anderson. That's his wife. So she got divorced, but he ended up.
When you think of Michael Bishop, and what I am looking at the comments, there's some funny stuff. A towering fusion of hard-edged rock, pastoral folk, and biting social commentary, all driven by Ian Anderson's unmistakable groin. Voice and flute.
Yeah,
raw and reflective. That's what the reviews said. And it's true when you listen to I like the first album. A different guitar player was the one that died recently. Can't remember his name now. Mick Abrams.
Mick Abrams, yeah.
Yeah, and then Martin Barr was the guitar player after. The first album's great, but it's very bluesy. This is much more folk rock, pastoral, but the hard rock edge.
That's
hard
the
edge,
one I
yeah.
like on that.
There's a hard rock edge to it. So
Yeah, stand up
title
is
song.
much more bluesy, and the Thick as a Brick debuted at number one, or made it number one. This album actually, I was looking, I'm like, oh, Aqualung never made it to number one, but incredibly, that was the height of their popularity.
it was number one.
Up to, the '78, when they
I
played
grew
the
up
Garden.
I grew up with my siblings were older, and their friends were at a certain age when this was out. They all loved it. Like, they absolutely loved Jethro
I
Tull.
loved it.
I remember the
yeah.
album cover. I wasn't that much into the band, but I remember my dad playing it, and I liked Aqualung a lot. I liked that song a lot.
So I would say, if you, like I said before, listen to this whole album. Hymn 43 is a brilliant song. Wondering Out Loud's a nice little, interlude there. There's just, and he plays, multiple instruments. I think he's playing, it's not the guitar, the mandolin on a bunch of those tracks. And it's just really great in that. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a multi-instrumentalist. He just tends to play the flute on stage. So my second choice, I'm going to keep racing through these because obviously we've got quite a few to get through before we go over to play the actual music.
Yeah.
Although we can talk about other ones, and is Tommy, which, believe it or not, was The Who's fourth album. They were not a prolific band in the studio. They took them a while to get around to making albums, even though this was already into the late 60s. Like the Beatles had knocked off about 10, 12 albums already. This was their fourth album, and obviously it's the rock opera, but it actually worked as a piece of music and as a double album, and then went on to spawn a monstrous set of live gigs, theatre, movies, you name it, So very bold statement by a rock band. They weren't the first to do themed albums. Bands like the Pretty Things have got their first, but this was the first one on this scale. And what I like about it when you listen to it is, obviously we know the Who's live image is that bombastic hard rock, loud as fuck, whatever. There's a lot of sensitive stuff on this, a lot of acoustic stuff, a lot of sophisticated production. Part of that is because they ran out of time and money, so Pete didn't get the chance to do all the electric solo overdubs, so it went out without them. So it sounded a little quieter than it should have, but it's still an incredible statement, Tommy. When I had a quadraphonic setup, I had the SACD version and quad, and it was just unbelievable. You stand in the middle of the room and listen to it. Unfortunately,
Was that one of the most famous albums to do that, I guess, back in the day? Now we've got, the DVD audio was this, Tommy, like one of the like forebears of that, or
it had it was an early quadraphonic LP. There was a quadraphonic version, but I ended up a few years ago getting the SACD, Super Audio CD version, and you can get Blu-ray audio versions of it too, and all sorts of mixes, and they sound phenomenal because it's a beautifully produced album, played and produced, and uses far more. There's far more in it than they could ever replicate live, which is why they got so loud live. They just was to make up for it with
It's
volume.
such a great band live. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm Free is a great track on this.
Oh, it's great. Yeah,
My favorite's Pinball Wizard. I love that song. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Tommy,
See
can
Me,
you hear
Feel
me?
Me, just, Sally Simpson I love. That's actually a beautiful track, beautiful pop track. The Acid Queen, if you ever see Tina Turner play that live on her later gigs, she used to do that live with a Who intro, with the Won't Get Fooled Again intro, and then they went into Acid Queen. Phenomenal. Really good. Because she played the part in the movie.
Have you guys seen the Broadway play? I was fortunate enough to see it like 20 plus years.
Seen it, but not on Broadway.
I knew there was a stage show for this thing.
I saw it on
so good.
touring. Yeah,
It's
I
so
saw it. It
good.
was
Yeah,
really
'cause
good.
Yeah, it fit. I mean, it's just amazing how this is written and how the ultimate concept, right? It's a musical with all these songs, and it tells the whole story, and it's just unbelievable, especially when you see it performed as a stage play.
Oh God, yeah. That's another one of my choices. Is a great fourth album. Michael, my friend, you're up next. Music for the masses.
Man, Mike, I like your friggin' taste in music. It's very cool
Okay,
stuff.
so
Yeah.
Depeche Mode is my favorite band. And
Yeah, that's a badass band, dude.
Depeche
Yeah.
Mode has gone through phases. They started off with their first album, Speak and Spell, with Vince Clarke. Vince Clarke left the band, and then it was just the three guys. It was Dave Gahan, Martin Gore, and Andy Fletcher. They hired Alan Wilder to jump on the band, and he didn't really become a full member till their third album, Construction Time Again, and that's when they became the Depeche Mode that everybody knows. Because when Alan Wilder left after Songs of Faith and Devotion, they kind of went back and they weren't that. So I looked at it as like their peak era was with Alan Wilder. So this is their fourth album with Alan Wilder, and this is the one that kind of set them up to make them superstars. So this one, Violator and Songs of Faith and Devotion are like their trilogy of greatness. This is when they were at the pinnacle of their success. But I consider Music for the Masses a great album. I mean, Never Let Me Down Again, Strange Love.
I
Behind the
wore
Wheel.
that out in the clubs, man. I was a bartender when this came out, and man, we wore that song out.
Like, this is them coming into their own, not only with their music videos, but with their tracks. I feel Behind the Wheel is their best track. One of their top 5 tracks of all time. Behind the Wheel is, if I were to pick the greatest track of this album, it would be Behind the Wheel.
Okay.
Because
it says here, the review, a sleek, darkly euphoric triumph that turns introspective synth pop into stadium-sized emotion without losing its intimacy.
Right, and this led to their Rose Bowl Depeche Mode 101, because a lot of these 80s bands, especially the Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Baltimore, Erasure, they didn't have the capacity to sell out arenas.
No,
they faded out after their second album or third album. Bananarama, whoever you want to throw in there, that second new wave of British bands. Now, Depeche Mode was one of maybe Depeche Mode, The Cure. Those two were the ones that could sell out arenas.
Kept going, yeah.
And they kept going.
Shame
and
about
they
you
went on
mentioned-
too long.
Yeah,
But-
you mentioned OMD. I mean, I love OMD, and they
Right.
toured they opened for these guys. Is that what you said?
I would say at this time period,
Yeah, because I love
They-
OMD.
I would say from 1988 to 1992, Depeche Mode was bigger than U2.
Yeah,
You think so? Yeah.
But U2
But
has
based-
had like the longer success.
You two were mentioned in the chat, and The Unforgettable Fire is on my backup list of albums if we ran out of time, which I don't think we will. Not that I'm a huge fan, but it did define them, I think, as an album. But anyway.
And changing subjects, it's funny talking about Mick Jones. One of the albums I forgot to include was Sandinista by the Clash.
Oh, the other Mick Jones.
The other Mick Jones.
The other
Yeah.
Mick Jones.
The other
yes.
Mick Jones, yeah.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that one as well. Actually, we can't remember them all. But
Yeah.
What
But I
can
mean,
you-
this album has great music videos for "Never Let Me Down Again," "Strange Love," "Behind the Wheel." So
We had them at the club that I was working at when they were doing club dates, and it was pretty damn cool.
But "Behind the
It really
Wheel"
was.
is definitely one of their top 5 songs,
So
hands down.
moving on, because time is of pressure. Thank you for bringing that one up, though. I should say, by the way, that if anybody out there that's listening has not subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button, because I'm on 2,399 subscribers. So I need one more to push me over the top. So
So I got to
if
get my mom
anybody,
to sub to you.
yeah, do it.
And I would say
Uh,
one last thing, Brian.
Yes.
In this album, Little 15, a little controversial, but it probably has their deepest melodies.
Okay.
I mean, it's like a whole nother level. I mean, it's just, this is a great album. And if
Well,
you
we'll
haven't
definitely
heard
we'll be playing
the
a
whole
track
thing.
off it over in Rumble for sure. So
Behind the
I'll
Wheel.
bow to your, I'll bow to your. So now we move. Thank you for that, my friend. Let's move over to Hey Joe. You're next, and the next one up is again Culture Casino in the picture again. I
There
didn't
he is.
recognize that. Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
Hobo Gandalf, right
Hobo
there.
Gandalf, right
he
there.
is.
The Stairway to Heaven.
Here to Stephen.
Yeah, another
Staircase to
album
a
that
Bottom
has
Surfers.
a song on it that people probably would rather never hear again. I mean,
Makes
you
me
know,
wonder.
it's been played so many
Yeah, I'm
times.
really, really sick of Misty Mountain Hop to play that all the time.
Right? Look, this
Battle
is
of
another
Evermore
album.
is
Every
overplayed, too.
freaking song is a killer, man. And I look, you know, it's a testament. You listen to rock and roll, you know how hard John Bonham hit the drums. It's ridiculous. The kind of sound he got with those things. That's my favorite song on here is Rock and Roll, but there's so many good ones on here. It's not even funny. Misty Mountain Hop is great. When the levee breaks is awesome.
Oh, that's when
Yeah.
the drumming on that is just like it'll
Yep.
break your eardrums. It's
Yep.
it's deep drumming, but there's no hype on this. It's all killer.
Yep.
A
Is it
band
true
at
what
the peak of its power.
Is it true what they say about Stairway Heaven and guitar shops?
It is. They
Yes,
do
it
have
is.
signs up. No stairway.
No Stairway to Heaven. That's right.
That was just
You know what I-
Stairway.
Someone's
rumor.
got to get. Someone's. I've seen videos on YouTube. You know, people go in and like, someone's got to disguise freaking Jimmy Page. He's got to go into a guitar shop and start playing Stairway
He's
to
probably
Heaven.
Right,
done it.
Stairway to Heaven. Watch somebody try and
Someone
run him out of there.
Be like,
Yeah. I think I saw a video of him watching a busker playing it once. You know.
You know what's sad? Stairway to Heaven was the entire theme of my senior prom. I mean, it was so prevalent, man.
It's
That
a shame
song
it's
is just-
overplayed because it's actually a
is.
beautiful song.
It
and
is.
It's I can understand why it became so famous because it's got that semi-acoustic pastoral build-up, and then the extended soloing at the end, and the drums
Mm-hmm.
kick in. It's a perfectly constructed song, but yeah, overplayed.
Yeah,
Overplayed.
it is.
The live version, I think, if you listen to the live version, that kind of alleviates the overplayed. You know, 'cause that
Yeah.
version is just so much better to me, and the guitar solo is even
Yeah.
better.
Yes.
We're
So I
not
would
playing
say
it later though because it's too long.
Too long.
We're only
Yeah,
playing
it
short
is a long
tracks later.
song. Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, thank you for picking that one. It is a prime example of a great fourth album.
Do they ever do reunion tours, or are they done like Pink Floyd, like Never Again?
They did that thing at the O2 about 7-8 years ago, or 2017ish, in London. 2 gigs, I think it was. That was it, because Robert Plant doesn't really want to do it. He doesn't want to sing those songs because he knows he's unlike many of these old guys. He's accepted that he can't do that material anymore. He can't do it justice. So why do it? So I mean, Page and Plant worked together a lot over the years in various projects. But that last O2 thing with Jason Bonham that was it really. Now I'm going to be playing a clip later of Page and Plant playing Rock and Roll, but it's slightly different lineup.
So it's not a Gilmore's Waters type.
No, they're all on good terms. The 3 remaining guys, like John Paul Jones, is like never fallen out with anyone in his life that I'm aware of. So the bass players.
Well, it's
He's a
just
great
the
musician.
death of Bonham. They're like, we just had something so special, and we just can't, you can't replicate. So that's why I think they played with the Sun,
Yeah.
and that was the tribute for Emmett Artigan. Was that the last?
Yeah.
Was that O2? Yeah.
Well, they did that, but I think the O2 thing was a full Led Zeppelin gig. They
That
did
was
2
full Led.
nights and they filmed it, and it was good.
yeah.
So anyway, great choice. It is a stonking example of such a thing. Fourth album syndrome. They nailed it. They brought everything to the table and nailed it. So, is it background to me? Because you didn't have another one, Mark, did you?
No, I would. I don't know if you have anything, but well, Rush. Rush was mentioned in the chat. 2112.
Well, that was my next one.
Well,
there
that's
you
a good
go.
all-time
Of course,
Could
favorite.
we
be
did a whole-
co-pilots on that one, yeah.
We did a whole show on it, of course. 2112, which really set them up as the band that they became. The earlier albums are great, but they're more hard rock focused, I guess. There is prog starts to come in, but then this is like a huge declaration of intent. You've got the sci-fi storytelling, the incredible musicianship, the momentum, the volume, the I don't know what you'd call it, a statement of artistic independence was what they said. They became a force globally in rock with this, as opposed to just, well, there's a weird Canadian band that has got a couple of hard rock things going on. What a statement, The mixture of sci-fi and Ayn Rand and all that. Just,
I watched my pre-calculus teacher. We had like 6 students in this class, okay? I was a senior in high school. And, pre-calculus, not many guys in high school were taking stuff like that. Our class valedictorian actually almost got killed by our instructor because over this song, I think it was the song 2112 that he was playing, and he was going, now see, he's going off on a tangent talking about the guitar solo, right? And he says, he doesn't even know what he's playing. And he said, Tong said something like, I guarantee you play it again, he's going to play it the same way every time. And the instructor just lost it, started throwing shit at him. It was hilarious.
This album was released the week I was born.
Yeah,
Really?
I think they mentioned that in the lyrics.
March 76.
Tears. It's just crazy, batshit crazy, a mixture of libertarian philosophy, artistic philosophy, and science fiction, and there's weird noises, and you had all the synth work, and then this thunderous drumming and guitar and bass, and then Geddy Lee,
The rock and roll witch, as I called him, because of that nose he had and that long curly hair,
Yeah, but he nailed it on this one, so that was my third choice.
Well, the Blu-ray for that is phenomenal. Tell me if you have that, Brian or anyone. But
I've got
with the animated film or stills to go with it, with a comic, and
I have a very, very good friend whose brother is extremely involved with Rush as director and producer of many of the stuff you get on the DVDs and Blu-rays.
The extras.
Yes, and then
that's him. He did an awesome job.
Yeah. So that was my next choice. Michael, your next one was another very interesting one, I have to say.
Susie and the Banshees.
Hometown Garden. Juju. Anyway, they were one of the original goth type bands, weren't they, really?
Yeah. I mean, they're still playing their tracks from this album in TV shows and, commercials.
This was John McGough, was it, the guitar player, John McGough?
Yeah.
I love how they spell Susie there. That's cool.
Yes, I always get that wrong when I'm looking them up. You got to put the X in.
Right. So everybody's heard Spellbound.
Yeah.
That was at the end credits of Stranger Things season 4.
Oh yeah.
But my favorite part of this album is tracks 4 through 7. Halloween, Monitor, Night Shift. Night Shift is my favorite track on this album. It's pure goth, Susie Sue. Everything that Susie and the Banshees represents. Night Shift.
Are they Stephen King fans, Mike?
No, I'm not a Stephen.
Because that's the title. I said, "Are they?" Because that's the title of a
so.
Stephen King
short
story book. Actually.
I always liked their cover of Dear Prudence,
that's a good one too.
which is earlier than this, of course, but it showed that they were heading in a slightly different direction from the rougher earlier punk stuff. It was a bit more.
But it's interesting if you play Monitor. It's more metal than it is goth.
Yes,
the guitar riff,
Well, he's a good guitar player. If it's John McGough, right. I think was his name, John McGough.
So just for the sake of keeping my tracks upbeat, because the other two are kind of downers, I would say Monitor, because it's just got a great riff, Arabian Nights.
I'd like to play that. Yeah, let's play that when we go over to Rumble.
Arabian Nights, that's a good track. I mean, this is considered like like I said, with the Pet Shop Boys and Behavior, this is Susie and the Banshees like pinnacle, because after this, I mean, they had a few tracks after this that were popular, like Dear Prudence and what was it? There was that one track in '91 that was huge.
I can't remember now.
Well, they did a track for Batman Returns, Face to Face.
Right. But this is it's this distillation of what they were aiming for, which is why it's a great fourth album. It distilled everything they were trying to do, which is that kind of gothic atmosphere and a primal intensity.
If I think of like 1980s goth, you know, Robert Smith is the male head of goth, Susie Sue is the female head.
They should have had children together.
Yeah.
All the little goths.
Little goths everywhere.
But it's haunting and spellbinding, I think.
I can't forget Bauhaus. Bauhaus had some good tracks.
Oh, I loved Bauhaus, yeah.
Bela Lugosi's dead.
Bela Lugosi's dead. They were great. No, good one. Nice choice, sir. Thank you. We'll hear a track from that later. Again, Mark's just sitting here now because he only came up with one album, The Bum.
Hey, you co-piloted on 2012. Come on.
I know. I'm just kidding. I love you. Go Stars.
Well, there's no other bands other than Jethro Tull, so yeah, no.
There are no other. Every band is Jethro Tull. Every band. So my fourth choice, you're going to love this one. You are going to. Everyone's going to love this. You're not going to expect this. It is ABBA and Arrival.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, bro.
This is my favorite ABBA album. It was their fourth album. It's the one that turned them from Europop glamsters into a timeless purveyors of pop perfection. I'm going to read the review. Pop perfection, pairing immaculate melodies and studio wizardry with songs that feel both timeless and instantly euphoric. It's the moment ABBA became a fully global phenomenon, delivering hit after hit with effortless confidence and emotional punch. And I couldn't agree more with that review because it's a statement album. It's beautiful, beautifully written, beautifully produced. They've nailed the harmonies on it. I'm a sucker for great harmonies.
Dude.
Multi-overlaid female harmonies on these tracks. Plus some tracks that are a little bit deeper lyrically, which they started to get into with some of their later singles and albums. They're more relationship-based, like songs. This isn't on this album, but The Winner Takes It All would be a great example. Yeah. So they really nailed this one. Yeah. And I do like the cover as well. And the Mike Oldfield did a cover of Arrival, the track, and he had this cover with him sitting in the... So I'm a big Mike Oldfield fan. So they just nailed it on this, and I play this album a lot. So the track on this that I always go back to is My Love, My Life, the third track.
Yeah, that's great.
And it was inspired, I didn't know this originally, they heard I'm Not in Love by 10cc, and they wanted to do something similar with those background vocals. So it's overlaid, background vocals, overlaid to create a chorus from just the vocals. So, but it's a great album. The track Arrival, number 10, it's just mainly a keyboard-driven synth thing with Bjorn playing the keyboards.
Dancing Queen was their biggest hit.
And that was a big hit, of course, yeah. But Money, Money, Money was a hit. The only track, Knowing Me, Knowing You, again, a track about relationships, which...
I love that track, yeah, it's a great
track. Deeper vocals than you would imagine when you read them. The only track in this album I don't like is Dum Dum Diddle, which is just a bit throwaway fluff. The rest are brilliant. Even the light-hearted ones, like When I Kissed the Teacher, are all very... The music's razor sharp on it, and the use of those female voices, brilliant.
And people make fun of ABBA, but they, like you said, Brian, they're brilliant pop artists. I mean, great writers.
Couldn't get a better mid-70s pop album than this, in my opinion.
They were one of the first artists to sell their music for their catalog for virtual performances. They did that, what? I want to say 3 years ago?
Yeah.
I think. And they made boatload of money selling their catalog for that.
I love that song. I love that song, Fernando.
Yeah, now that's on the American version of this album.
Oh, is it?
They added that. Yeah, this is the British version. The American version had Fernando as the 11th track. But again, it's got that beautiful atmosphere. It's a timeless... Right. You listen to it, you're taken away. It's evocative, taken away somewhere else, and those voices. But I like what Davina says, bright sounds in minor keys. That's exactly it. So yeah,
And they're intricate
The winner-
songs. They're simple but intricate, and the harmonies and the pop
Right.
and the.
I mean, you're
how
right
it-
about you're right about the winner takes it all. I mean, that's about them splitting up.
it is, and it's
Dark
just that
song.
sad sound, but with that weirdly upbeat feel to it, which is hard to do.
right.
It's like, I'm stabbing myself in the chest and smiling.
Yeah.
Hello. No, I love this album. I knew it'd surprise a few people. This one, but I absolutely love it. So
Oh, it's great stuff, man.
Yeah. So that was my third choice.
That was your fourth. You skipped
fourth
over my
choice.
third one.
Well, we're getting to it now. See, I was trying to spin it out because I've got more choices than you guys.
I hear you. I hear you.
So
Did the-
Yeah, this
Porto
one
IV.
here, I didn't even know who this band was until Africa came out, and wow, I listened to the album, and this is another one of those albums where every track on it's really, really good, man. Rosanna was that their biggest hit, or was it Africa off of this one? I don't remember.
well, both Rosanna and Africa were huge hits. I don't know which
Yeah.
one was bigger. They're all both top 10 hits.
Yeah, but I didn't even know who this band was, and it was their fourth album.
Sorry, Tim sent me
know?
this. No Stairway to Heaven. That's in the.
No Stairway to Heaven. That's
Isn't
right.
that in Wayne's World?
No Stairway. Yeah, that's right. Can't play it there.
Oh, sorry, Courtney's here, by the way. Hello, Courtney.
Hi, Courtney.
Can you hear me?
How are you?
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't stop to introduce you. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I kind of snuck in the back. I got this to work on my phone, which is pretty amazing. Hi, everyone.
Hey,
How are you
what's
doing?
up?
See ya.
We've been missing you.
I know, and I love ABBA, by the way. Going back to that previous album, and this is a great album too. I would say Africa was probably more popular, but that's just mine.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the lyrics of Africa. How can they
I'm
rhyme
trying to remember
Serengeti?
how does Africa go melody wise?
Kilimanjaro.
Somebody do like a little melody of Africa because I don't want to get copyrighted.
Well, you might as well play it whenever we get to
Oh, no, that's Rosanna.
That's
Yeah, I was
that's
fixing to
Rosanna.
say I've got Rosanna going through my head, man.
I
Really.
know, I can't get.
oh,
It's
don't
actually a
want me to
similar
sing it?
Bless the
melody.
rain.
Mellow.
Yeah, that's it.
Isn't that the song?
And Serengeti and Kilimanjaro are both in the lyrics.
okay.
I'm just looking up Tim's. I want to see what else Tim sent me. He sent me something else.
But yeah, I had no clue who this band was, but when I heard Africa, I had to check this thing out, and
Yeah.
and it's another
no,
one
I
that's got
just
some
looked
really
at
great
the lyrics.
music on it, man. It's really great. Of course, I listen to everything. I'm one of these guys. The only thing I won't listen to is twangy ass country. That's about all I won't listen to. You know.
Well, I could give you some good twangy ass country if you want.
No.
got
That's
lots
the
of it.
thing. All twangy ass. Here's the question I want answered.
Mustangs, yeah.
Okay, by you
Jimmy
country
Buffett,
western
anything?
fans, how can John Anderson, how can that guy right there be responsible for one of the greatest country songs, in my opinion, "Seminole Wind" of all time? I
John
mean, that
Anderson.
song is fantastic, but also all the way to the other end of the scale, give us something like "Swingin'," which is, I mean, it's nails on a chalkboard.
Did you say John
to me.
Anderson of Yes?
No, John Anderson, the country singer.
Oh, right. Sorry, I was getting the wrong. Because
Okay.
Yes,
The other
Fragile
John
was-
Anderson, okay? Kind of like the other Mick Jones.
So what is this?
I don't
What
know how
about
that's
the-
possible.
What about the rest of this album, though? Because I'm not as familiar with this one. I only know the hits.
Oh, I bought the cassette and wore it out, man. I just listened to it a lot. I Won't Hold You Back is a good one. Let's see. Lovers in the Night's a good one. But, of course, everybody knows the first and last track because they were huge hits for him.
Yeah. We all love massive hits. We don't. The bigger the hits, the better.
Yeah.
So thank you for mentioning this one, though, because it's a great example of what we would have called in the old day adult-oriented rock.
Yeah.
Because it's like Steely Dan without the.
I always compare them to Chicago. I think of
Oh,
them,
right, yeah,
and
that's a
it's
better
kind of the same
comparison.
class, you know?
better comparison because Steely Dan were quite cutting.
Right.
These guys were a bit more
Pop.
upbeat.
They were
Yeah.
more pop,
well,
yeah.
upbeat lyrically, I would say.
Yep.
But yeah, nice example of musicianship. They're great musicians, is what it is. So
Well, I had to bring this one up because,
Dune, yeah,
like I
Dune.
said, I didn't even know who these people were until that album came out.
well, I love
had
them
never
from
heard their stuff before.
the first single, "Hold the Line." Great single.
Didn't
You
he
know
wear
that one?
really short
Dun,
shorts
dun, dun, dun.
on
Short
one album
shorts?
cover? Yeah.
probably that was the thing. Then.
I know. I just remember a very funny picture.
Yeah. So if you had to pick a fourth album, Courtney, and I haven't prepped any images or anything for you, but a fourth album by a band that was brilliant.
I was just thinking about this for a few minutes, and I didn't have a lot of time, but
Only 4 seconds.
one that was probably one of their bigger hits. I think it was like their most Billboard hit one was Fugazi's fourth album, which was Red Medicine. I know a lot of people here probably don't know a lot about Fugazi. Another one of a band that, two bands actually, that people may know. You may have already said them. Did anyone mention Kid A by Radiohead?
No, not yet. No, we haven't got.
Kid A by Radiohead would be another, and then The Cure, Pornography. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah,
I was gonna nominate Pornography, but I was like,
So what was the Fugazi album? Sorry, Fugazi.
Red Medicine.
Red Medicine.
Yeah, and it came out on Relapse Records. It was, I don't know, I was like a senior in high school, and Relapse is out of Philly. So I guess it was one that I just heard a little more of. Most people know early, most people know Waiting Room, and there's a couple of Fugazi songs, but they're definitely a different sound. They're like the post-hardcore, post-punk kind of.
Okay, cool.
I almost say the beginning of emo, but they're not emo at all for what we know emo as now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's I'm just looking up the rear cover of that. See the track listing. Oh, that's not as straightforward as an idea as it sounds.
I've got the track list
there's
here.
a lot of tracks on there.
Do You Like Me? The Bed for Bed for the Scraping.
I don't know.
Latest Disgrace. Birthday Pony. Forensic Scene.
Okay.
Combination Lock.
The first one you may know, but
So I'm going to go listen to that then. So Fugazi, because I don't think I've really heard
they've got another 6 more tracks on there, but
Red Medicine.
Tension's good. Yeah, there's a whole bunch on there.
Target Version by You. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Courtney.
And then Void King kind of says in the chat, which I do agree with. He says Kid A, which is going to Radiohead, is amazing, but OK Computer is better. I do agree with that, but Kid A was the first album that went all kind of like keyboards.
I think they became the band they wanted to be on Kid A. I don't think it's my favorite album. I prefer the one before OK Computer, the third album.
I think everyone kind of does.
But because I preferred them when they had some kind of big rock songs on there, but they became the band they wanted to be later. So you're probably more right about Kid A, being the definitive album, or the album that defined their sound. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like their kind of their breakthrough for their sound is what I was saying, kind of.
So I think that was your last one, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Of the three, I had quickly, because I want to get over to Rumble and start playing some tunes. I had 2 more, and then we'll talk about Michael's remaining ones. So I also had picked Kraftwerk's Autobahn as the fourth, which really defined who they were.
I love Kraftwerk.
That's the band that then of course we did a lovely show. That one too, Michael, you're going a bit fuzzy. Can't hear you.
Yeah, you either switched mics to your camera mic or stepped away from your microphone. One of the two.
Yeah. So this was an album that defined their sound. Love this album to death. We did a whole stream on Kraftwerk, which was fun. Look back on that one, everybody. And then my other one I had was Motorhead's Ace of Spades, which is technically their 5th album.
That's,
but
I thought of that, but I didn't know that counted.
I didn't count On Parole because that was the kind of release of their album after the first 2 for the old sessions they did that didn't become an album, and it's a different lineup. So I didn't count. I said I'm forgetting about On Parole. Doesn't exist. This is their 4th album.
Okay, well then this would be my top for a 4th album, like 100%.
Yeah, I'm picking that one. Nick's dad is in this, obviously. Nick, and for all those wonderful channel
that guy in the middle, you mean?
Yeah, all those wonderful channel members out here. We have some at my groupie level, and of course, this is what that looks like. So that was my final official choice. I had some backup ones. That's final official choice. Michael, who's had to drop out for a minute, he had the Smiths' "Strange Ways Here We Come," which was the final Smiths album.
Okay.
And as I was telling him, he didn't know Strange Ways, as well as being a place, was actually a major league prison in Britain. Major, massive prison, including for a lot of like really loony tunes.
Death of a Disco Dancer. I'm gonna have to listen to that.
Girlfriend in a Coma, of course, is
Yeah.
the famous
That's
one
a
from
great
that.
one.
Checking this out. Yeah.
This
And
is
so
where
this is when Morrissey went solo after this, then, right?
he did after this one, and it was it's a great album. Distillation again of everything about the guitar playing on this album is fantastic. Hello,
There,
Michael.
there he is.
All right, am I back?
Yes, you sound
Is it
good.
You are
now?
back, and we're talking about
Strange Ways.
your,
It's
Strange Ways
Yeah.
pick. Yep.
I'll make this quick. The Smiths released 4 albums and a bunch of compilations. All 4 albums were really good. This is kind of like them at their peak before they broke up. Girlfriend in a Coma is probably one of their most notable tracks. My favorite track on this is Death of a Disco Dancer.
I'm gonna have to listen.
Maybe
to that.
we'll play
yeah.
that later. Yeah,
So
because we're going to head over to Rumble soon. The link is in the chat. We're not there yet because we've got a couple
but-
more to talk about. But
how could you go wrong with Morrissey?
indeed, Morrissey. I've got a tree growing out of my heart. No, so-
I like you're
well,
the
did anyone
one
mention-
for me, Fatty.
Yeah.
Just kidding. That's not my favorite.
Did anyone mention Black Sabbath?
Well,
Black Sabbath's 4th album.
I'm
and
just
then-
going to cover that, yeah, because Christian threw in Black Sabbath Volume 4. The other one that you mentioned officially, Michael, was Hunky Dory, the one
Yep.
before Ziggy, the 4th
Changes.
David Bowie album. People don't even know he'd had 4 albums by this time. Ziggy was the 5th. So this has got some great, changes. My favorite, "Oh You Pretty Things," which I absolutely
Oh,
love.
I love
track.
that song.
Yeah, it's the album Queen Bitch you mentioned, Michael. That's the album where he kind of became David Bowie.
Well, I think this album, let's see, this album became popular again in, I'd say,
Life on
2005
Yeah.
with the Life Aquatic Steve Zissou.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Because Life on Mars,
the
Queen
soundtrack,
Bitch. I mean,
Life
it's-
on Mars is such a good record.
I don't know if you've heard the cover of Life on Mars or Queen Bitch by, say, George. He's like a Brazilian singer. He was in the movie. He was the one playing the
I
guitar.
have, yes. I know who
Say
you mean.
Jorge or whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
yeah. That's a good one, yeah. But this is the album where he became David Bowie. Ziggy was, to me, was great, but it was kind of like a sideways move because it was creating a character that then did this album,
Yeah.
whereas this was David Bowie.
Yeah.
So a great album.
First album of his I ever bought was Young Americans. That was the first one I ever bought.
So, there were a few more kicking around just because we are going to get ready, everybody, because we're going over to Rumble soon. We're going to play some tunes. Christian did indeed suggest Black Sabbath Volume 4, which was a wonderful decision because that was the album where they took the sort of, to me, they had still the doomy Black Sabbath sound, but they got quite trippy on this one. They got a little bit trippy and showed that they could do other stuff. I mean, Tony Iommi plays a lot of keyboards in this, Mellotron. The lyrics are very trippy. You've got Snowblind, of course, which describes their personal habits.
Hello.
So great choice. We might play Supernaut later. I love that track. They became very trippy and proggy. A little bit proggy, but still being doomy Black Sabbath on it. What else did we have? John Das Wilfen, who is unfortunately, as he suspected, couldn't join us, did suggest a few. And one of them was on my backup list. So he had Injustice for All. It was a great
Yeah.
4th album.
That's a huge album. Yep.
Yep. Again, a definitive
Good.
sound.
Darkness imprisoning me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This was one of my backup choices, Rust in Peace.
Rust in Peace.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a good one.
The
Megadeth.
new album's good. This was a backup choice of mine because to me it's I don't know about definitive Megadeth, but it's a thrash masterclass, I think.
All right, real quick. What's the history of the album covers with Megadeth and the skeleton? Was there like a story behind it? The narrative?
I think they just decided that was a great it's like Iron Maiden and Eddie.
Eddie,
I was
yeah, I
just
was
gonna
fixing to
like
say
Iron Maiden and
that's
Eddie,
the first thing
yeah.
I think of is Eddie with Iron Maiden.
I had Iron Maiden Vans with Eddie on top.
Whoever designed these covers was a genius.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
were.
cool.
Yeah.
But this is an album that I hadn't listened to for a couple of years, but I've been listening to the last few days because I got the new one. I think it's an absolute peak Megadeth.
I
I
did
have to
not
hear
know
it. I
who
did
they
hear it.
were until I saw Last Action Hero.
All right.
Oh,
Angry
really?
Again, that song they
So
did for
I
that
was
one.
obsessed
Wow.
with
Courtney,
Dave
what were you-
Mustaine in the 80s.
Yeah. So this is a great one. It was also one of my backup choices. Then you've got Iron Maiden, Peace of
Peace of
Mind.
Yeah.
I don't know why I stumbled over of Peace of Mind, which to me, without this album, you might not have got Sabaton. When you think about the stories on this album,
Mm-hmm.
you got
Right.
Where Eagles Dare, The Trooper. Not always quite as many
Trooper's a great
hits,
song.
but a lot of songs that have been retained in their sets over the
Oh,
years. I
dude,
think.
yeah. Some of these just define Iron Maiden, man. They really
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
So it was a great choice by John. And then his last one, you can see there's a theme with these Slayer,
I
South of
agreed
Heaven.
with this one. I remember him saying this one.
South
Yeah,
of
he's
Heaven
a,
is-
he's a huge metal freak, man. He loves them.
Right.
Yep.
So I can't disagree with that one either. Brilliant choice.
A lot of diversity in our selections.
There is.
Yeah.
we've
Well,
we've
it's
covered
funny because
classic.
I can go on this end and with the Motorhead, but I can also ride with you with the Smiths and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, and another, just before we wrap up on YouTube and everybody go over to Rumble, and the link is pinned to the top of the chat. And we'll play some tunes. We had a few others that were just, Christian was also a big fan of Creed's. Willie and the Poor Boys was their fourth album. That's
Yes!
an awesome album.
Down on the
It's a
corner,
definitive rock
Yeah.
and roll
out
album.
in the street. Oh, yeah, that's
Fortunate Son.
my favorite
Midnight
song by
Special,
them, period.
Side
Yeah.
of the side of the road. It's all just-
Yeah. And then
That
Rocks
album.
by
Fortunate
Aerosmith.
Sons on this? Good Lord.
Yeah.
Wow.
Aerosmith
Yeah.
Rocks, which may not have as many hits on it, but is probably the definitive Aerosmith sound, which is tight but loose, raw and dirty.
Before they went
and-
commercial, right?
Yes, raw and dirty. It's a dirty, dirty album. Great album. Genesis, that was me, Megadeth. I'd picked Megadeth as well. Genesis Foxtrot, as I say, I prefer Selling England by the Pound, but they nailed the sound on this, that prog rock pastoral sound.
Now, is this with Gabriel?
Ready. Supper's Ready is a 22 minute and 58 seconds.
Wow.
Yes, but if you like this kind of thing, yes, their fourth album, Fragile, is probably this album that really defined that sound of theirs, which is, again, technically precise, pastoral, just some atmospheric, progressive statement. And then one that I threw in for Tim was U2's The Unforgettable Fire.
Classic, yeah.
Yep.
Plus, again, I'm not a big fan, but they nailed
I'm not
that
either.
with Daniel Lanois. They really created a new sound for themselves.
Can I add
Yeah.
one before we move on? Just
No, you're out of time. Sorry, it's all over.
I'm going to put it in there anyway because I've got a big mouth. And this is very controversial, but wasn't Sandinista the Clash's fourth album?
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah,
A
we
lot of
mentioned that
people
earlier,
claim-
yeah.
Oh, you did already? Okay, well then.
Magnificent.
Well,
should
in
have-
passing, though, talk about it. Yeah.
yeah,
I was
we
gonna say,
should
I
have
love
thought
that
about it.
album.
Yeah,
I
Magnific-
love that
yeah,
album. It was
Magnificent
kind
Seven.
of hated.
Yeah.
It was kind of hated by a lot of like the punks, I guess, that were into the Clash. Well, a lot of my
Yeah.
friends and like the punk scene. But
Oh, it's a
me
great
being
album.
musician, I just thought it was like, it's unbelievable.
and one that I wanted to talk about, if I can close all these because I got too many windows open, was
It get
I
cold in
wanted
here.
to start talking about not so good ones. And as you all know, I'm an enormous Beatles fan, but their fourth album was Beatles for Sale, and it's probably the least satisfying one, at least until the original Yellow Submarine. It's
Yeah, I
just
agree with that.
it's the sound of a band that was touring the world constantly and was knackered and didn't have time to write and record. So lots of cover versions on it. It's one of the least satisfying, even though it's got No Reply and I'm a Loser and 8 Days a Week. A lot of the rest of it is stuff they could just throw off quickly because they've been playing it for years on stage. So it's the least satisfying. Unlike, of course, the Ruttles' fourth album, Ruttles for Sale, which is obviously a classic.
Yes. There you go. Yep.
I love that cover. I mean, you can't beat the hair.
Ruttles for Sale was
I-
they nailed it on this one.
Oh, my
Hey, Brian,
Mono.
what about Parliament Funkadelic's Mothership Connection? That's a
Oh, I
fourth
love
album.
that. But I'm more of a fan of the what's the first
Facial
album?
expressions
The
and
first
the
Parliament
haircut.
album with all the snakes on the cover. I can't remember now the name of it. The first Parliament album's a killer, absolutely brilliant.
George Clinton.
Right, so we're gonna knock the YouTube side on the head. I'm sorry, but we will
Ouch.
continue on Rumble, and let me hide this for the moment.
Well, Let There Be
Let-
Rock,
Let there be
Let
rock.
there be music.
which is
boys and girls.
AC/DC's fourth album.
Fourth album, yeah. We will continue
classic.
over on Rumble. There's people hanging out over there already. Darren, Vince, Big Dave K. I'd like everyone to go over there and we'll play some tunes, maybe just 2 or 3 each. But Stig, Nasty, Barry, and Dirk. King Ganguli. That was a good one they did. So Osmium, the one after Osmium, then I can't remember. Or was it Funkadelic's first album? I always get them mixed up. We'll come back to it later. I'll look it up. It's the one that's got the really great lead guitar, lengthy solo stuff on it. Right. So killing YouTube in 10 seconds. Thank you everyone for being on YouTube there though and hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. Go over to Rumble and we'll play some songs.
Those of you that only watch YouTube, I'll see you at 6:30.
Yeah, indeed. And you will be redirected
So
from
long.
to Joe's. So before we go, just one more video for you all on YouTube. So goodbye, YouTube.
Love it.
Ending it, ending.